Hey guys, I know it's not Sunday, but I was brainstorming about some Infamous 3 ideas, and I got a really good one for the Good Karma storyline. This kind of ties into real life, and it ties back to Infamous 1. The real life example for this is whenever you have a soldier or a warrior or any superhero of any kind, they're usually buried with the weapon or the object that caused them to do such heroism. So in Infamous 2, Cole obviously uses the RFI in the Good Karma storyline. This is strictly for Good Karma. I'll work on an Evil Karma storyline that will tie the game together. It will tie both the storylines together. I'll work on that later. But back to the Good Karma. Cole uses the RFI, kills all the conduits. He saves the world. He's a hero. There's no part in the ending cutscene that shows that Cole was buried with the RFI, but it is a very plausible possibility. Because since all these superheroes and warriors and veterans are all buried with the weapons that allowed them to do such heroism, Cole's a hero, he did heroism with the RFI. What if he was buried with it? Sucker Punch might add in one of those extra informational cutscenes in Infamous 3 that shows that he actually was buried with the RFI when it didn't show it in Infamous 2. So my idea was, you guys all remember the Good Karma ending for Infamous 1. Cole uses the lightning strike to destroy the Wraith Sphere, but it cracks open, creates a vortex, sucks John into it, and then that's what creates the beast. What if something similar happened with the RFI? If the RFI was buried with Cole on the boat with Zeke, when the lightning struck the boat at the end of the Good Karma ending cutscene, suppose it did the same thing to the RFI that it did to the Wraith Sphere. It didn't really create a vortex, but it sort of exploded, blew up, combusted, made some sort of explosion, whatever you guys want to call it, whatever you can think of to name this event. But it hit the RFI, causing it to combust and release a massive amount of Rayfield energy, causing an entirely new event to be formed. There would be, I'm not really sure what the result would be. There could be like some sort of obviously since they were out in the sea on the boat in the last cutscene, there could be some sort of huge ocean crater. There could be after the explosion, there could be tsunami and hurricanes, and there could be a lot of natural occurring events after the explosion that could be blamed on the weather, but are later in the game found out to be caused by the RFI exploding and causing all this Rayfield energy. We could have a totally new situation here. The plague was sort of like the flu. It was transferred from person to person. What if we had a new version of the plague in Infamous 3? I know it sounds like another origin story, like we're starting over again, but there are certain parts of this storyline that would separate it from Infamous 1 and Infamous 2. What if a new disease was started where it wasn't spread person to person, it was actually spread through the air? So, like I said earlier, the RFI explodes, causing tsunamis and hurricanes. Towns on a coastline get flooded, obviously, because of the tidal waves. Hurricanes come into towns, the wind blows around, you get all this destruction and disaster. And since the air of these hurricanes and tsunamis are contaminated with the Rayfield energy, they would obviously infect the air around everybody that's in the area. So not only would these people be breathing in this disease, but they wouldn't be able to, say, stay away from me, I'm not going to get this disease. It's uncontrollable. You breathe the air, you get it. It's not person to person. You can't isolate yourself and do anything. So we'd have to have a completely new array of enemies. We could have one faction similar to the Reapers, because the Reapers had their own plague. We could have a similar faction that was infected by this new disease that has actually became immune to it and uses the disease to their advantage. somewhat like the Reapers in Infamous 1. We could have another faction of high-tech enemies, sort of like the First Sons, high-tech enemies that wear gas masks to avoid breathing in the disease. They have like insulated suits, all this kind of high-tech gear. They'd be able to teleport. They'd be able to teleport. There's some certain conduit powers that they'd have. And obviously this new disease, I'm not sure what we'd call it yet. Obviously it would infect some people and kill them, and it would infect other people and give them powers. It would give people with the conduit gene certain powers. It would give people that are normal people, it would kill them or make them very, very, very sick. Originally at the beginning of the game there wouldn't be a cure for this disease, but later on there would be a vaccine. So Cole, if Cole is good karma, he'd see the city start to clean up. The disaster and destruction that the hurricanes caused would start to clean up. The city would actually rebuild itself. So like if you had at the beginning of the game, you went into you know, unknown city, whatever we're going to name it. If you went into unknown city that was affected by the RFI blast from a tsunami or hurricane or whatever, and buildings are destroyed, there's skyscrapers knocked down, there's parks with trash all over them at the beginning of the game, if you play through on good karma and you let the vaccine come in and you do all this stuff to help the people, you would actually see buildings starting to be rebuilt. You'd see parks start to get cleared up and cleaned up. And obviously I don't have an evil karma storyline yet, but I will work on that for one of my next updates. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. You can expand on my idea if you want. You can give me new ideas. I will certainly think about this idea I've come up with, and I will add on to it later on. But that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. Leave your ideas in the comment section, and thanks for watching.